How do you grow a really strong, truly successful team? For those who haven't met me, I am Dr. Carol Wheeler, and I spend my days working with teams and helping them figure out how to become as successful and as strong as they possibly can be. Now, you've probably heard about StrengthsFinder or Clifton Strengths, other tools that are used to help people understand their own strengths. Maybe you've even done an assessment like this with your team, but aren't really sure how to use the data. What I have found is that when leaders see the full strengths landscape, when they truly understand the data they have in looking at the strengths of their team, they are able to build a truly successful team. They do this because they quit assigning tasks and they're able to align energy and assign responsibilities based on what individual team members really have to bring to the team and what they can do better than anybody else in the world. This gets to be really exciting work. So, let me tell you about this one executive that I was working with. I was coaching them and we had looked at the strengths of their team and they were like, I just don't understand why things aren't clicking. This is such a strong team. And it truly was. She had some incredible individuals on her team. Unfortunately, they had a huge blind spot. They were so loaded down on executing strengths, on getting things done strengths. They had a ton of getting things done strengths, and they had a good balance of relationship building strengths. So they got along really well, they enjoyed each other, and they got things done. Unfortunately, they did not have a lot of strategic thinking themes. So most of their action wasn't necessarily directed in the right place. They also were missing some influencing strengths. And so they were making a lot of things happen, but nobody knew what was going on. And they weren't really making the right things happen on a daily basis. They didn't have anybody to help them figure out what are the right steps to take. So they felt really, really busy and really, really productive. And yet the outcome at the end of the day wasn't that great. They didn't really know what was going to move them in the right direction. They did have a couple of people on their team with some of those key strategic thinking themes. Unfortunately, those people were in roles where it wasn't their job to help decide what the team should be working on. So they might be strategic in their own decisions about their own work product, but they weren't able to help the team figure out what to do. So, figuring out the next right step and figuring out what the whole team was moving towards was a big challenge. When we think about strengths like this, we think about strengths as if it is a team ecosystem. If it is unbalanced, some parts will thrive while others will wilt. So if you have a lot going on in executing, but you don't have a lot going on in strategic thinking, you have a lot happening, but not going in the right direction. If we flip that, so there are teams sometimes who are great thinkers, they have beautiful ideas and strategies and plans and all kinds of ways of going about things, but they don't necessarily have a lot of executors on their team to make those things happen. So those teams can have these beautiful visions and get other people behind them, but they don't necessarily make them happen. When you map your team's strengths, you don't just get insight, you get alignment and you get to bring people forward. You will have somebody on your team who can do all these things, but moving them into the right position and helping them really leverage those strengths for the good of your team is what makes things happen. You learn, who do I need to lean on for ideation? Who grounds the team in practicality? Who thrives in relationships? And who just gets results? As a team, you can use this data to determine what might be missing. Then figure out who can use a different strength to fill that gap, or if there's somebody else in your organization who could come over and help you a little bit. Start really simple with this. The easiest way to do this is just to list your team and plot their top strengths by domain. What strengths are in strategic thinking? What are in executing? What are in influencing? And what are in relationship building? And then we start asking ourselves some questions. Where are we over indexed? What's missing in this mix? What does this mix mean about how we work together as a team and how we get things done? What are our real strengths? What are we able to do in the organization that other teams can't do because of this mix of themes? Um, and what might be me missing out on because we're missing some strengths? Just seeing it in front of you changes how you delegate, plan, and support each other. If this idea sparked something in you, drop me a comment. Tell me about your team. If you've ever taken strengths, what did you learn? And did it change the way you delegate on your team? If it didn't, we should talk. Tag a colleague who could use this tool. And if you want the fancy version, shoot me a message and I can make you a beautiful team chart with all of your strengths that we can look at together. Mapping your team strengths does not take a long time, but it completely transform how you collaborate.